This episode is provided by Thomas Allgaier and Frennis, based on the most relevant LinkedIn posts about AI and B2B marketing in calendar weeks 5 and 6. Frennis is a B2B market research company helping enterprise marketing teams sharpen their strategies and outreach with customer segmentation, ideal customer profiles and deep dives, customer needs analyses, and buying center insights.
Yeah, it's good to be back. We're looking at early February 2026, and you can just feel the mood has shifted.
It really has. I mean, the hype cycle, it's not just settling down, is it? It feels like it's completely crashed into a wall of, well, reality.
A wall of reality is a good way to put it. The flashy demos are out. We're now talking about operating models and, actual sales numbers.
Exactly. It's moved from, look at this cool thing, to, okay, this is messy and expensive. How does this actually work in the real world?
And you're seeing this clash now. It's the automate everything crowd versus the people trying to use AI to make humans, well, more dangerous.
So we've got 3 big areas to unpack today, right?
Yeah, 3 main clusters. First, the whole confusing mess around AI SDRs. Are they dead? Are they just evolving? What's going on?
Right, and then this move away from just writing prompts to something called context engineering.
Which I know sounds like a buzzword, but it's critical.
We'll get into it.
And finally, what we're calling the Agentic web, and why your entire SEO strategy is probably obsolete.
Okay, let's start with that controversy then. Theme 1, AI SDRs. I mean, if you just rewind to last year, the big prediction was that by now, the human SDR would be, extinct.
Oh, yeah. We were all supposed to be on a beach somewhere while the bots booked all our meetings.
And yet here we are, and the data is telling a very, very different story.
It's a completely different story.
A post from John Idle really kicked things off. He dug into what happened at Ramp.
And Ramp is a huge player, a massive fintech, very forward-thinking.
Exactly. And they had this AI SDR program called OTs. At its peak, this thing was generating 30% of their entire pipeline.
Which is, that's a staggering number.
Hey.
Most sales leaders would kill for that.
I know, right? But here's the kicker. They shut it down.
Turned it off.
Turned off the machine. Idle explains that the ROI, it just plateaued. It turns out you can't just scale outreach like that forever. The quality started to drop, and they realized they needed to empower their 500 human sellers to actually close the deals.
That's such a critical point.
Yeah.
The tech didn't break. The strategy broke. And this lines up perfectly with what Jason Bay pointed out. He found this little piece of irony that I think is pretty telling.
Oh, this is good.
He noted that all the big AI companies, we're talking OpenAI, Clay, the people who actually build this stuff, they are all hiring human SDRs. Like right now. Aggressively.
Wait, so the chefs are refusing to eat their own cooking?
Pretty much.
If the people building the AI don't trust it to replace their own sales teams, why should anyone else?
That's the question, isn't it?
Yeah.
And Arnaud Weiss kind of gave the psychological why behind this. He calls it reciprocity.
Reciprocity?
Yeah. His point is that an AI email communicates 0 effort. As a buyer, a bot wrote it in less than a second. So you feel like 0 social obligation to even reply.
That's so true. If a human researches me, I at least feel like I owe them a no thanks. If a bot spams me, I owe it nothing.
Exactly. We buy from humans because there's that shared investment of time.
Okay, so let me play devil's advocate. Is the AI SDR just dead? Was it just a failed experiment?
No, I don't think so. We have to be careful not to swing too far the other way. It's not dead. It's just that the first wave of implementation was lazy. Yeah. C.T. Leong had this amazing breakdown of the math that we really can't ignore.
Go on.
He points out that a traditional human SDR team costs about $1.8 million before they book a single qualified meeting.
Wow. When you factor in salary, turnover, all that.
Everything. He argues that AI agents plus just one human manager can do the same work for 10 times cheaper.
Okay, so the argument isn't that AI is better at selling, it's that it's infinitely cheaper at failing.
In a way, yes. It's about runway. For a startup, that kind of efficiency is literally survival. But the smart companies are changing how the AI shows up. Ryan Teasel shared a great example from Qualified. They have this AI agent called Piper.
I saw this. They didn't hide it in the little chat bubble. They moved it to what they call pinned mode on the website sidebar.
Right. Instead of hiding the bot, they made it a core part of the experience. And just by changing the UX, just by making it visible and accessible, they doubled their conversations and meetings in 1 week.
So it's not about replacement. It's about building better human middleware.
That's the term Nico Gillard and Marcus Chu are using. And that seems to be the consensus. Automate the grunt work, the list building, the research, But for a complex deal or handling a C-suite objection, you need a human.
I loved Summit N's take on this. He said an AI SDR's main job shouldn't be to write more emails. It should be to delete more emails.
The infrastructure mindset, yeah.
Yeah. Yes. He uses AI to filter out 60 or 70% of the bad outreach before it gets sent. The AI defines this super narrow ICP window, so you're not a spam cannon, you're a sniper rifle.
Which is how it should be. And that brings us to maybe the funniest story of the week from Dan Briscoe. If we're going to treat these AIs like colleagues, we have to onboard them like colleagues.
Oh, this was brilliant. He onboarded an AI agent named Alice from a company called 11X, and he treated her exactly like a new hire.
So what did he do?
He gave her 1,000 pages of company reading material to get up to speed.
Which she probably read in, 3 minutes?
About that, yeah. But then, and this is the best part, he tried to get her to watch the company's training videos.
Named Dash.
She refused. The AI literally said she's more of a reader.
No way. That's incredible.
It's hilarious, but it's such a good lesson. You can't just plug these things in and walk away. She still needed a human onboarding to understand the company's nuance.
That is the perfect segue to our second theme. Because if the lazy AI SDR failed because we just plugged it in, the fix is what everyone's now calling context engineering.
I am seeing this term pop up everywhere. 2025 was the year of prompt engineering, right? Learning how to ask ChatGPT nicely. But Maja Vojay put it so well. She said, if you give an AI the same prompt twice and get different results, you don't have an AI problem. You have a context problem.
Exactly. Prompt engineering is a tactic. Write me an email. Context engineering is a strategy. It's about building the whole environment around the AI, feeding it your business rules, your brand voice, your customer data, before you ever ask it to do anything.
Brendan Short quoted Andrej Karpathy on this. He called it the delicate art of filling the context window. But what does that actually look like? Are we just pasting massive documents into the chat?
No, that's the amateur hour version. Brendan highlighted a much smarter approach from Joe Rue. He's using Markdown files in GitHub.
Wait, hold on. GitHub, isn't that a tool for software developers?
It is. But here's why it's brilliant for marketers. Markdown is just clean, structured text that AIs can read perfectly. More importantly, it creates a single source of truth.
A single source of truth.
Yes. If Joe changes his product pricing in that one Markdown file, every single AI agent connected to it, whether it's writing emails or answering support tickets updates, instantly.
Wow. So you're not retraining 5 different bots. You're just updating the central brain.
You're updating the central brain. That is a system. And, I think people get confused by all the terminology here, but Carolyn Healy had a great breakdown of the hierarchy.
Okay, break it down for us.
She sees 3 levels. Level 1 is generative AI. That's the creator. You ask ChatGPT to write a poem. That's Gen AI.
Simple enough.
Level 2 is AI agents. They're the specialists. They perform a specific task like book a meeting or scrape this website for me.
And the third level?
Agentic AI. That's the orchestrator. It's a system that coordinates multiple specialist agents to achieve a big goal, like reduce customer churn. It figures out which agents to deploy and when.
But Sandeep Gulati had a warning about this. You can't just buy a bot and call it agentic.
No, exactly. A real system needs memory. It needs to handle errors. It needs guardrails. If your bot crashes because a spreadsheet column was named wrong, it's not an agent. It's just a fragile script.
We saw some pretty wild examples of this in action, though. Jonathan M.K. shared his co-work plays. He's saving, he claims, over 40 hours a week. One of them was his competitive war room.
I loved this one.
Yeah, so instead of a human having to check a competitor's pricing page every day, he has an agent that just watches the market. When a competitor changes their pricing, the agent spots it, automatically updates the internal battle cards, and pings the sales team.
It's moving from write copy to run operations.
And Marina Mugilko took it even further with Airtable's new super agent. She gave it one prompt. Build a 6-month strategy for my brand, Silicon Valley Girl.
And you'd expect, a generic, fluffy paragraph back.
Right. Instead, in 25 minutes, it built a full competitive analysis, a distribution model, even a hiring plan. It acted like a strategy consultant.
But here's the catch with all of this. All this amazing internal orchestration, the war rooms, the markdown files, it means nothing if your customers can't find you in the first place.
Which brings us to theme 3. And this is probably the most urgent one, the agentic web.
This is the part that, it scared me a little bit.
I've spent 20 years getting good at Google. Keywords, backlinks, H1 tags, all of it. But Scott Brinker shared this stat from Uberall that should be a wake-up call for everyone.
What was it?
68% of brands are completely absent from AI recommendations.
Just invisible. Think about that. A buyer asks ChatGPT or Claude for the best CRM for a small business, and if you're not in that answer, you don't exist. You're not even in the running.
And Nathan Hirsch's point was that buyers are making the decision inside the AI's answer. They aren't even clicking through to your website anymore.
It just completely destroys the traditional funnel. Semrush data backs this up too. AI doesn't reward you for having the most blog posts. It rewards context and credibility.
So the million-dollar question, how do we get found? If backlinks aren't the main signal, what is?
Ryan Law from RFs, he dropped the golden nugget of the entire 2 weeks. He analyzed the data and found the single strongest predictor of AI visibility. It's not domain authority.
What is it?
It's YouTube mentions.
YouTube, seriously?
A 0.737 correlation. That is an incredibly high number in this kind of analysis.
Why YouTube? Is the AI watching the videos?
It's reading the transcripts. These models are hungry for high-quality conversational data to understand what a brand or a product is. And YouTube transcripts are a goldmine for that. If people are talking about your brand in videos, the AI decides you're relevant.
So the strategy shifts from write more blogs to get mentioned in more videos.
And freshness is critical. Ryan Law also found that AI overviews change every 2.15 days. You can't just set it and forget it.
But we also have to worry about where the AI gets its information, right? Natalia Garcia had some stats on this.
Yeah, the classic garbage in, garbage out problem. She found ChatGPT cites Wikipedia 19% of the time, but it cites Reddit 13% of the time.
That's terrifying for a B2B brand. Your reputation could be shaped by some anonymous Reddit thread.
Exactly. And it's becoming a platform war. Chris Lawn pointed out that Bing Webmaster Tools just launched an AI performance report.
Finally, some visibility.
We can finally see what they call grounding queries.
Okay, translate that for me. Grounding queries.
It's the new keyword report. It shows you the exact question a human asked the AI that caused the bot to pull data from your website to ground its answer. It's the first real peek under the hood of AI SEO.
And at the same time, Hans Kronenberg was talking about the Super Bowl ad from Anthropic.
The makers of Claude, yeah. They're positioning themselves as the no ads, clean answers alternative to Google and OpenAI. It's a battle for trust.
And trust all comes back to data quality. Georgi Fernejev made a point we can't miss. All these agents, all these systems, they break if the data is bad.
He said static lists are dead. You need live, real-time data. If your agent is working off a 6-month-old spreadsheet, it's going to embarrass you.
Speaking of embarrassment, let's hit a few quick practical tips before we wrap. Nicole Leffer had a great one on preventing hallucinations.
The I don't know rule.
Yeah.
It's so simple, you have to explicitly tell the AI in your prompt, do not make anything up, and I don't know is a valid answer. It just drastically cuts down on the errors.
I also love Tom Winter's idea of the critique stage.
It's like robot fight club for content.
Yeah. You have one AI, maybe Claude, generate the first draft. Then you have a different model like GPT-4, critique that draft against a set of rules. Then the first model rewrites it. The output is just so much better.
And that all feeds into what Kieran Flanagan was saying about the new models, like Opus 4.6. He said they're starting to develop taste.
Taste.
Yeah, judgment. They're making creative choices that sometimes beat human intuition. It's not just pattern matching anymore.
Which is both exciting and a little unnerving. Okay, let's pull this all together. What is the one big takeaway for everyone listening?
I think the takeaway is that the easy button phase is over. You can't just plug in an AI SDR and expect magic. The winners this year are the ones doing the hard back-end work of context engineering.
Building the systems, the markdown files, the central brain that makes the AI actually smart.
Exactly. And at the same time, they are fighting for visibility on this new agentic web.
Making sure your brand exists in those YouTube transcripts and Reddit threads and wherever else the AI is learning.
Because if the AI doesn't know you exist, your buyers never will.
If you enjoyed this episode, new episodes drop every 2 weeks. Also, check out our other editions on account-based marketing, field marketing, channel marketing, MarTech, go-to-market, and social selling.
Thanks for listening. And don't forget to subscribe.
And I want to leave you with one final thought from a post by Thomas Ross. He said, if you aren't managing what AI says about your brand, you have outsourced your reputation.
So who is shaping your story when you're not in the room?
Something to think about. See you next time.